So these, oh, God dang it. This coffee is not going to work. Yeah, I fell down, hurt myself a couple weeks ago. I was out taking my dogs for a walk, and one of them slipped away. I had my leash and a harness and everything, but one of them, she slipped out and she was headed for the road really quickly. I said, no, you don't. So I took off running after her, and her leash was dragging about 5 feet behind her. So I thought, I'm just gonna jump on that leash and get her stopped. So I got pretty close, and I made this flying leap, you know what I mean? I think my foot landed on that leash okay. I'd have stopped her, but my knees gave out, I guess. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I fell hard, dang hard. Hit right on my chest and my face first. Just bam, down I went. Holy cow, I was stunned to say the least. I hit harder than I have, I think, probably in my whole life that way. And I laid there for a few seconds. I might have even been unconscious, I don't know. Anyway, I opened my eyes and there's my dog. She'd come back, trying to see if I was dead or not. But when I opened my eyes, she took off again, and I jumped up real quick and finally got her corralled and got stepped on that leash. And I thought, man, that was exciting. I had to go sit down. So I did. I took the dogs over to a bench and I sat there for a few minutes. Took them around the house again and then came in. I thought, wow, that was lucky. Didn't really hurt myself. And I called my wife a few minutes later and told her what happened, and she said, so you're not hurt? I said, heck no. I said, well, maybe my knee hurts a little bit. She said, what's wrong with it? I said, I don't know. I haven't looked at it. So after I hung up, I dropped my trousers and looked at my knee, and there's blood everywhere. And it had some good scrapes on it. So I cleaned those up and put a Band-Aid on it. I thought, that's good. So I went on the rest of the day like nothing had ever happened to me. The next morning I got up and reached down to get my socks to put them on, and dang if my thumb didn't hurt like blazes. And when I'd move it, it would pop in and out. So I thought, dang, well, maybe I did hurt myself. And yeah, I disjointed my thumb. That's awful. I mean, it hurt like blazes. Anyway, and the next morning, I got up and I felt dizzy. Yep, I was dizzy. And I went out to the studio and looked at my computer, and after about 10 minutes, I felt like my eyes were crossing. And I had to sit back, way back, and I kept doing that for, I don't know, another day before I told my wife about it. And she says, well, you probably got a concussion from that fall you took. And I thought, no. But yeah, folks, I had a concussion. Screen time on computer and phone, very limited. So I cut back on a lot of things I was planning on doing. Like a YouTube video. Yeah, I can't do that now with 10-minute span before I went blind or something. So that's why you haven't seen any videos from me for a while. But now, I think I'm getting better. My thumb, I can actually move that thing. And this morning, I actually looked at the computer, I don't know, maybe an hour. Just fine. So I think I am going to get better from this little episode of chasing dogs. But I haven't, for 2 weeks, I haven't been idle. I've been out taking some pictures and, wandering around here on my property with my camera. I've been taking some miscellaneous photos, and I thought I'd show them to you today. You know, there's nothing really award-winning in them. They're just pictures I've taken around here. So let's do that. Let's take a look at those pictures. And now the photos we're looking at right now, there's no theme here, no rhyme or reason. There's just pictures that I've been taking while I've been kind of laid up. You know, I get up early in the morning, take sunrise pictures, and just walk around being bored and taking snapshots, actually. Some of them are okay, I guess. There's a couple that kind of are unique. But for the most part, they're just stuff I've been shooting. The only thing that could be a theme is they were all shot on my Nikon D200 as JPEGs. I didn't use any RAW files at all. These are all JPEGs. And I used a variety of lenses. I used the old Nikon 28mm that I used in last week's video. I also used a Nikon 80 to 200 zoom lens. I used this kit lens that came with the Nikon D200. I think it's 18 to 70. You know, just old lenses is what I used on these photos. You will notice some photos that are a little bit different, I suppose. I've been experimenting with different ideas for YouTube videos, and one of them was to take nature shots with a flash and make it look like maybe nighttime when it really wasn't. You'll see some of those, some leaves and things like that. Another thing I've been doing is shooting really long exposures. Well, not real long, but like 30 seconds. And halfway, I'll compose one photograph, and halfway through I will move the tripod and camera to a different scene altogether and let it finish its exposure on that scene. And it's kind of fun to do. You never know what you're going to get. So you'll see a few pictures like that, maybe a couple. Other than that, they're just the normal stuff, you know, of the mountains over here from my deck, you know, at sunrise, and some sunrises with some jet planes flying way overhead, and, you know, things like that. It's just photos. But I wanted to tell you about my little adventure falling down, and I thought I needed to actually put some photography in the video too, so that's what we're doing here. They're kind of fun to look at, so I hope you enjoy them. I've got to say, this last couple weeks been interesting for me, and I'm glad I'm still walking around. That I don't like falling down anymore. You guys take care, and thanks for coming by, even though there wasn't much photography to look at. Sorry about that. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye now.